All right, listen, I want to tap in really quick to millennials. I've been talking to y'all anyway, but I want to tell you another reason why you've got to know who you are, why it's imperative that you understand your natural gifts, your natural talents, the audience that naturally responds to you, who you're hoping to reach, and then you figure out your worth. Now, your worth isn't you deserve this because of your name or your beauty. It's assessing your skills, talents, and audience, looking at the services that you can provide, and then determining how much do I get to charge. That's it. Everything's about supply and demand. But I need you to understand that if you're not coming from the place of who you are, then you might over fluctuate, you might under fluctuate. You want to find it and play with it. It's not an exact science, but it can only happen if your foundation is clear. Taking the time to do that is a big deal. One of the things that's happening right now is that many of you are choosing not to do corporate America. And there's nothing wrong with that. Except, obviously, we're still going to have some employees. It's going to get tighter for who gets work, who doesn't. Then you throw in AI. You having a sense of who you are is a really big deal. So I want you to comment, like, follow, subscribe to this channel, and join my free VIP group to get more detailed information that breaks this kind of stuff down and the one-to-one or one-to-group ratio that allows you to get what you need specifically. All right, so let's dive in. When you don't know who you are and you lack that awareness, that self-awareness that we spend a lot of time talking about, then you're going to be finding yourself looking for a job. Have you ever heard of the comedian Country Wayne? I was listening to him today, and one of the things he said growing up was he learned in the game, that was his life, that you never show up to a party with an empty plate, because otherwise you're looking to be served and you get whatever's available. But when you show up to the party with the goods, then you get to dictate what happens in your space. Another way of looking at that, and that he was making an analogy to, was real estate. He was saying when you step into real estate, if you come with money, oh, the banks have to do what you want done. But if you come seeking a loan, they can manipulate and charge the interest rates that they feel comfortable with. When we look at this job market and how life is changing and how you're maturing in your career, your self-awareness, your consciousness, it's going to be imperative that you know what your skills are. Well, let's take a look at how you can figure that out. One of the things that you can do is just look back over your life. What are the things that you did well in, whether that was in school, things that came to you naturally, whether that was psychology, whether that was math? Just see what did I naturally easily flow or glean towards. Now, this may not match where you're thinking job long term, so let go of that for just a moment. What came to you naturally? What were those things that you were easily catered to, that you got an A in, or you at least were interested even if you didn't get an A? Now, when you look at that field of that area, I just want you to know right now you're already doing better than most people. What? Because there are exams and tests like that, Breyer's, Miggs, Breyer, and things like that, that can tell you that if that's an area of interest to you, here's an array of jobs, here's an array of work, here's an array of need in the marketplace that you can go and fulfill. And that's just by simply identifying what subject did you enjoy the most and which ones intrigued you the most. That's not even digging into skills you learned along the way from maybe your parents or your grandparents or even your friends. When you start to bring that in and you figure out, okay, let me look at what I enjoyed doing and I did well. Okay, now let's look at this other arena and figure out how can I put them together. Let me give you an example. When I was growing up, we won't talk about when that was. I used to talk in class a lot. And I had to write this phrase, I will not talk, I will not talk. Teachers would punish me. Literally, they would punish me for talking too much. And I don't even remember talking that much. I don't. But I had to do that. And they were essentially crushing my spirit. And it made me think that I didn't really like talking very much. But as I began to discover who I am over time, I'm like, no, I actually do have something to say and I want to empower people. And I learned that, wait a minute, that's actually my gift. But I didn't always know it was my gift. In fact, I sort of shunned away because I hadn't released the lie because I didn't do the self-discovery. It wasn't on the teacher, it was on my self-discovery. I began to believe the lie. So when I would communicate on these social media platforms, I was on YouTube back in '09. If people didn't respond, I took it personal, thinking, oh, well, no one doesn't really want to hear what I have to say. And I get bits of inspiration, and I go and I do it again, not knowing that the only thing I was really missing was a strategy to go along with the natural gifting that I have. And of course, now we're interacting and exchanging. I'm on stages, I'm on platforms offering value. Looking at my life in that example, what shows up for you? Was there a period in life where maybe you had a gift or talent and others were like, no, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do it that way? You might find a secret in there about who you actually are. And the faster you can uncover and unpack that and sort out the story from the truth, oh, freedom is waiting for you. Now, when I say sort the story from the truth, let's go with it. The truth is what actually happened. The story is what you made up about it. You've got to be willing to let go of the story so that you can find out, is there something in there for me that I can actually live from? When I go back to the talking, right, in class, I had to let go of, well, they told me I talk too much. When I tell you, I seriously didn't. But I had to be willing to not allow that to be in my way so I can focus on what I have available. What's that for you? I was recently working with a client. She has a gift where she can sort of speak into people's lives. I won't say a gift of seeing the future, but she has the ability to just tap into people's lives. And she had it at a very, very early age. And I remember her telling me that her family told her, hey, you can't just go up to people and start talking to them like that because it's not acceptable or whatever it was, or whatever their natural concerns were for her. So she began to shut that down over time. And she lived a life that was uninteresting, that had a lot of challenges because she had stepped away from her natural gift because she was always told that was the wrong thing. So she went out and did like most of us do and acquired other skills and things that are okay, that might pay the bills, but now, as many people do, find themselves working a job that they actually hate. Don't do that. And so doing this exercise, or going back to her clarity call, when we worked through that, it wasn't because of me. It was just her rediscovering, you know what? That is who I am. And I've known it, but I've been afraid because I'm not sure other people would want it. So we had to unravel that story so she can sort through the mess to get back to her skills and things so she could be blessed. Come on, man. I'm talking some smack right now. But I'm serious. What are those things that people shut you down for that's really who you are, that you just need to maybe reorient, get some more skills around? Because here's what I know. You were born for a reason, not an accident. All those millions and trillions of cells or sperm cells, and you made it. You're here on purpose. So unless you discover that purpose, you're just existing. I wish you the best. There's more to come. Remember, comment, like, subscribe. I want to get your feedback and your thoughts on this, and maybe we can help you discover your truth. Don't forget to also register for my free VIP group. Peace.